This is a very hard video to make for obvious reasons, and because of the seriousness of this video, we are choosing to record our voice and use a script to read off so that the points we want to be made are clear and to be put out. We are choosing to only record our voice so the words are focused on.
We have always come forward with our truth and experiences. We have gone over all of the subjects pertaining to Mercury and the abuse with therapists for years to untangle and make sense of everything Mercury did and continues to do to us. This, however, is something that has only been confirmed for us this year, so it is very hard to process everything that comes along with this topic that we are about to address and make clear.
We have gone through multiple avenues to confirm this information. In my statement, I talk about Mercury suddenly having a serious medical health issue. This medical health issue was the reason for me to do things that I was not comfortable with and to submit to whatever Mercury demanded of me without any pushback. In my statement, this starts on quote unquote page 4 with the last paragraph and continues on to page 5. The life-threatening health emergency that Mercury Stardust was telling us was that Mercury was suddenly diagnosed with spinal cancer.
During this time, Mercury claimed that she had an emergency tooth issue and went to the ER, and then something bad happened, and she made us wait for a week before we could meet in person to tell us the medical issue. She would not tell us just over messages. She purposely said, "No, I have to tell you this, what happened to me in person." And we met a week later. This was around Christmas time, and we just realized all of this too this year because we went back to look at dates. That's how we found out that it was around Christmas time of December 2014, in the email dates of when Mercury emailed us that she was going to the emergency room because of this tooth that then turned out that she had spinal cancer. This happened on like around the 18th and December 20th, and then Mercury told us at rehearsal on like the 26th or 27th of December 2014. We had only known Mercury for 3 months at this time, which is why her insisting on waiting and only telling us first was so weird to us, because we didn't understand why she wouldn't tell her partner or her roommate or people closer to her, because again we just met in October and now it is December. And so she made us wait to tell us in person. And we were among only a few select people that she told that she had cancer.
When Mercury told us this, we never tried to question her about the diagnosis for obvious reasons. If someone that you consider to be your best friend and a mentor suddenly tells you that they've been diagnosed with cancer, you believe them. Your first instinct is not to question them or push back on what they have just told you, especially with something as serious as this diagnosis. Mercury told us she discovered it after having oral surgery, that somehow from there they did a spinal scan and found a cancerous tumor. Mercury told us that she would have to go on chemo treatment or have an extremely risky surgery that would give her a 50-50 chance of being paralyzed for the rest of her life. During this time, when she told us this and would talk about this, she would be obviously very distraught and upset, to which me and Bridgett would both try to comfort her. Um, she would call me specifically at any time of the night or day, particular times of her sobbing and talking about how terrified she was and feeling and was scared of being abandoned by the people that she said that she loved and cared about. I had to always reassure her and remind her that I would never abandon her and that I would take care of her if she had the surgery and if it went bad in any kind of way. I also would comfort her and reassure her that I would help take care of her if and when she was on any of her chemo treatment.
At this point in time, Mercury was well aware of our own past and some of our traumas. That includes my father becoming paralyzed himself, along with others of my family members having cancer.
During one of the many times that Mercury had called me in distraught about her diagnosis, she told me that she would most likely end up in a wheelchair and once again asked me if I would take care of her and help her with whatever that ensued. And once again, I would reassure her that I would never abandon her because of her cancer.
As time went on, Mercury would complain about the medication she was taking for the treatment, saying it made her extremely fatigued and not be able to think straight, and also why she would lash out an abusive outburst at us for any reason. She also told us how she was going to start losing hair soon because of her treatments. We again tried to be as passive as possible towards Mercury during all of this because, again, why would we question our best friend at the time, our troop leader, about their cancer diagnosis and their treatments? We were also aware of Mercury's mother having cancer and passing from it. This is also why we never wanted to question or even bring it up because of her own past. And obviously, that would be triggering. So, like, why would you bring that up or try to even engage with that? She has, to our knowledge, has always been open about her mother's story and what happened with her mother having cancer and passing.
Like I said earlier, Mercury used this for me to do the number that I did not feel comfortable doing. She used cancer as a way for me to strip specifically for her in the manner in which she wanted me to do. Like stated in my post, Mercury said about 5 months later, so after she had told us about her cancer diagnosis, about 5 months later, that she was in remission from said cancer. We have family that have survived and been also taken by cancer, and the anger inside of both of us is something that is indescribable. Again, this is a recent development of the many layers of abuse Mercury has put us through. Like in our statement, it was never just a one thing, it was a many layer of different things. Like Bridgett has stated, we have gone through most of the traumatic situations that Mercury has put us through with therapists, but this is the first time of us confirming that this was all fake and that she faked severeness in order to manipulate us and to fulfill whatever her needs and desires were at that time. In a long list of all the abuses, Mercury has essayed my sister along with many other people who have just now come forward and feel somewhat safe to come forward. There are DV allegations from Mercury's ex partners, with Mercury being the aggressor in those situations. Mercury has admitted to being in an inappropriate romantic relationship with a minor, the countless sexual harassment from her onto others, her stalking us for over a decade now, her slandering our names, her not paying promised payments to performers and other people. There is more than enough reason for speculation over the amount of charities and fundraisers that Mercury has done for and for the causes that seemingly only benefit or go towards her in some way, and not being fully upfront about where those funds go to and how they are distributed. Mercury has shown that she will lie without a thought or a care and has been caught lying over and over again. And whenever is confronted with these lies, never addresses them and instead decides to deflect and blame anyone who tries to bring forward these abuses. All of these other actions to now confirming that Mercury Stardust lied about having cancer to us, to force us to obey, stay, and do whatever she wanted from us. With all this and more, it is very evident that Mercury Stardust is a dangerous person. This has been proven. Through going through all the receipts from the emails and messages, um, everything we have said and do say, we have receipts for, we have evidence for. Mercury has yet to show or give any kind of example of her slander against us or anyone else for that matter. She now tries to paint anyone who disagrees with her as being transphobic and or racist. Mercury Stardust, you still have to address all the harm and abuse that you've done to us and to the many, many other people over years of abuse that you have done to people and to communities. You have yet to provide any proof of any of the claims against us or anyone else for that matter. And you have been proven to say and do anything to put yourself above others and try to clear your name without taking any accountability for the actual actions of abuse you do.
Mercury Stardust lied to us about having cancer from December 2014 up to October 2015. Throughout that time, Mercury would call us and message us and in person talk to us about how scared she was of losing potentially the ability to walk, how she would not be able to perform burlesque anymore, and burlesque was her life. And throughout those months, she would call us sobbing, and we have messages of that proving that as well. We will show text messages at the end of this, showing about going to the ER and the cancer diagnosis. Again, we just found this out. We just confirmed it through multiple avenues. This is like devastating to find out even more. Like, I don't know when this ends. But again, there is no accountability with Mercury Stardust. She will lie about anything. She lied about having cancer, and we all know her history because she talks about it. So I don't know how to forgive that or even really address that, but that's disgusting. That's it. Mercury lied about cancer. So
Once again, to Mercury Stardust and to any of Mercury's quote unquote followers, stop slandering us, stop stalking us,
stop harassing us.
believe survivors.
And thank you to those who have supported us too.